how do I, if I'm a boss, now this is a more for the leaders who are managing Gen Z to say that, okay, how do I um, try and do something beforehand or preventive before the conflict gets to that stage? So that's one part of the question. And the second, of course, is, maybe I don't have the skills, maybe I didn't pay attention, as in that story that you were explaining, and a conflict has erupted. So then how do I handle it, right? So one is, maybe are there steps or tricks or ways in which you can anticipate and maybe diffuse the conflict before, and then post could be that, what, too bad, it just happened, but I have to now kind of resolve it going forward. So anything that you can share here?
Sure. So let's tackle the first question, which is how do you prevent a conflict? Now, by the way, by prevention, I don't mean to say conflict is not healthy.
Sure.
I actually think that conflicts are, first of all, inevitable. Second, conflicts are actually very healthy. In the sense, you can have an unhealthy conflict as well, but you can also steer a conflict towards a healthy consequence.
Yeah.
A conflict which is healthy, which is managed well, can create a lot of ideas. It's a great source for ideation, for innovation, for creativity. So I would not say that conflict avoidance is the right strategy. You can minimize conflict, you can leverage conflict, you can benefit from conflict. But to your question, how can we anticipate conflict? I would say conflicts can be anticipated by having a conversation with people to understand their real needs. Now, what happens is I may talk to people and I may understand in that conversation what they want, or but the want may look superficial. What is the underlying hidden need that is unaddressed? So, do I have an understanding of their real needs? For example, I may I may be coming to office in the morning, maybe some days at 8:30, some days at 9, some days at 9:30. My boss doesn't like it. My boss wants that I should be punctual, I should be predictable. But it is their need, and they don't want the culture of the company to get spoiled that everyone thinks you can walk in anytime. Let's say the company is somewhat rigid about it. Now, their need is they want certainty of my arrival. They also want to set an example for others. They want company's culture to get spoiled. But what is my need? My need is flexibility. Yeah. So now, if my senior doesn't know that for me flexibility is a very important need, they will misunderstand. They will think, "Oh, this guy's not interested. He doesn't care, or he's not simply interested in his work, or he's too casual." Whereas my need could be flexibility. Of course, if I have a conversation with my senior, and the senior tells me why they insist on me being punctual and what is the underlying need, not just their need, but the organizational, from the organizational perspective, the culture they're trying to build. Then I may say that, look, I understand your perspective, and I think this need of the organization probably ranks in higher priority compared to my need for flexibility. And I may say, okay, fine, from tomorrow I will take care. Or I could convince my senior that, look, this is fine, but my need at this stage, maybe because there's some family issue that I'm grappling with, which will probably for another month or so, I'll need to be flexible. So kindly give me flexibility with full knowledge that after the issue at home is over, I will become punctual. So I think it's the primary focus should be to understand, to have a conversation and to understand each other's unarticulated, unmet needs. And very often people don't talk about it unless we ask probing questions, unless we ask them to help us understand the need behind the need. Why do you exhibit this behavior?